Welcome to another episode of Care for Boys, where I think we talk a lot about like shows that we really like. Especially recently, we were talking about like Severance, White Lotus, like all these shows. But then, like, what are some shows that you did really like, and as you got further into it, you just got disappointed, it got bad, the story didn't really measure up, you got bored, and you just fell out.
Oh, Walking Dead's the best example.
Really? Why? What happens there?
It's so strong.
They
like, it's
really
so boring.
started stretching it out.
It just gets boring, that's it?
Well, I think there was a writers kind of strike going around the same time.
Yeah.
But it started off fucking good, but I think like they kept getting like greenlit for next season, but the show wasn't actually supposed to be stretched in the way that it was.
Oh, so they were just like being greedy about how many seasons to...
But I think they're drawing out, like the writing got lazy, and then they're drawing episodes out so that they can stretch it to the next show. And it got to this point where it was like, okay, you could clearly tell everyone got bored, from the actors to the writers to like, it was just a really lazy approach.
Oh.
When did you end it?
I left whenever they killed off Glenn. That was like the kind of final straw.
But you
for
know,
me.
that wasn't supposed to happen so late. Glenn in the comic book dies way earlier, but because he was a fan favorite, they kept him on.
Yeah, he was the only like redeeming character left. And once he was gone, I was like, there's no reason to watch anymore.
Because people liked this arc because it was relatable. Versus,
is Walking Dead still on now, or no? They finished it.
Did it get finished?
They have a bunch of spin-offs.
Yeah, they have
there are
spin-offs.
spin-offs.
There's an LA one. It's pretty funny.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's also like this whole entire arc that takes place in a prison, and it lasts like 3 times longer than it needs to be.
Yeah, that one's
They could have cut it like really, really short, but they kept on milking it, and it just got old. And I'm like, I never want to rewatch this now, because now there's like a season and a half that takes place in the prison, and it's just a kind of boring segment of the show.
And I think it was during a time when there were commercial breaks. So you know how that format is, like they had to do it based on suspense and then break for commercial. Yeah.
What would happen?
Completely nothing after.
And then nothing, yeah.
It was getting to this point where there would be like a really amazing episode, like phenomenal episode, and it would like really pull you back in. Then you'd have like 3 episodes of just like, okay, what's going on here? And then it would like really get you hooked back in. You would be like really interested. And these hook episodes kept getting further and further apart to where you were just like, when is it going to get interesting again? Yeah.
No, but the first several seasons were so good.
Phenomenal.
Because the character development, everything was like, you invested.
I remember everybody really liking it.
Yeah, it was so
Season
good.
1 especially.
Yeah.
Just like the him waking up to the zombie apocalypse is just so cool.
So good.
Did that happen with Sons of Anarchy for you?
I loved Sun.
I liked it. Towards the end, I was like, all right,
It was a
dude.
little
fuck
rough.
it.
That happened to you
At
too?
the end, yeah.
Kinda just
But the
corny on
beginning
the
was
end.
so good.
Yeah, it was
I just feel like for TV shows, it's so hard to like find the balance of a show that does really well that everybody loves, and they keep it going for like 10 seasons. It's like it's almost unsustainable. Like you really do have to tie it off. Like to me, Game of Thrones was like the biggest disappointment.
The last season, right?
Yeah, because everything else up until that
Everything
was
else was
really
so
good.
good, yeah.
And then the last season just felt like you guys couldn't add like 2 more episodes.
I know,
to
they
the
rushed
season?
it.
Yeah.
Well, it was because the writers actually got another job, and then they just half-assed their homework.
What was the other job?
They got Star Wars, and then and then that movie was just like, what the fuck is this? Like, I don't know. I didn't give a shit about that movie. So it was just like these guys are spread out thin, and you can tell in the writing, I guess.
But you know what? It could be too is that George didn't finish that book.
Yeah.
So then, like, maybe, I don't know, they just didn't have material, like, so deep, and then it's hard to just invent something.
And I also heard like the cast, like they just didn't want to film it anymore because it was like,
Really?
yeah, it was I think it was just a hard location to shoot at, right?
Yeah, because they're always shooting on some remote place.
Yeah, it's like
Can't see their family for like 6 months.
yeah, that must be tough, and you have to like look all smelly and shit all the time. Like,
Hey, House of Dragons, though, redeemed it. I enjoy it,
I
yeah.
didn't watch it.
Yeah.
I was
I think
scarred a
it was
little bit.
Aren't they coming through with, no?
Yeah, there's another one coming.
Okay.
Another season.
But it got delayed, all those shows got delayed because of, like, lockdown and shit.
Oh, you know what's a good show that like my wife always watches, and I started watching with her. It was Sex and the City. It's really good.
So good.
It's really funny.
The original?
It's
Yeah,
so
it's
funny.
really good.
Hella good.
Really, really
They don't
good.
make shows like that anymore. But the new season, I'm like,
Oh my
ugh.
God, it's actually
Because you compare the two, and it's like it's not edgy at all. It's not like they don't push the boundaries like they used
it's
to.
a different vibe.
And it's just not funny. Like,
No, it's not funny at
No
all.
reboots are like good at all.
it's just
And
hard.
actually, the actresses got worse.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, the same actresses, they got worse. Yeah.
Just you don't like them. You're just like,
Did you
eh.
watch the Sex and the City movies?
Only two. No, I haven't seen them. I didn't see it.
Did you like them?
I didn't really like them. The first one was better than the second one, but
you
they,
like the
they were
Dubai
both
one?
shit.
That's the one I saw. Where the girls take their their burqas off and they have like designer dress.
Yeah, you're like, get the fuck out of here.
Have you guys watched the Boondocks with Aaron Magruder? Yeah. So you know he left, right, on a certain season, and you can see
When the show falls off a cliff.
it's fucking weird. So like I loved it. It was a good show. But then when he left, and it almost seemed like I was watching a shell of a show, and they completely missed everything. Like there was no story. It was just kids throwing the N-bomb left and right just for the sake of it. And it was like,
Because there was a really strong narrative under all of the
was so
episodes.
good,
before,
dude.
yeah.
but then when he left, it just turned into like making fun of black people.
So it's like watching South Park turn into Family Guy.
Yeah, it was, but not even good. It was so bad.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch House of Cards?
Yeah.
I did, yeah. That I got turned off from it later on too.
Well, it was good all the way up until Kevin Costner's allegations came out. Then they had
Kevin
to pull him. Is that
Not the bodyguard. He would never do that.
Wait, what's his name again?
Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
Imagine that affects House of Cards. They're like, oh, we didn't even get that far.
A whole different Kevin. No, then
Yeah, it did-
allegations came out,
get
so they had to
Kevin
pull
Bacon.
him.
Yeah, I got right. Same deal with Master of None.
I didn't-
Amazing show, and then that shit happened with Aziz, and then they just like,
They just, yeah.
and then it came back.
Wait, something happened with Aziz?
It was the weakest Me Too
Yeah.
out of all of the ones that came out. Yeah.
It just made it seem like he was kind of like a dweeb, but it wasn't like a real Me Too situation. It was kind of like
He is kind of a dweeb, but
like, but it wasn't a like. It was more like it just made him seem dweeby.
Yeah. He was on a date with a girl. They went back to his place. They did a little bit of like touchy-feely this and that, but she felt pressured. But she did it, and then afterwards wrote like a thing about how like she didn't feel right about it. And in his mind, he thought it was just a date that didn't go that well.
Awkward date.
Yeah. But then like they stopped making Master of None. Then they brought it back, I think, very recently.
they ended Master of None because of that?
It was a touchy time. Yeah.
I know.
That was like peak Me Too, though.
Yeah.
But that show was so good, and then it just like fizzled out. Now it's back. It's not as good.
I think the reason why House of Cards, I actually don't think it got bad. I think real politics got more entertaining.
Yeah.
Because that was Hillary and Trump era. That was the last season.
Oh, I love it.
And then so before he left the show, that last part of it was just like, real politics is way more dramatic.
Yeah, that's true.
I remember, I think it was around the season where he started like making out with the FBI agent.
Yeah.
And I just remember thinking like, this is kind of out of left field. Like it was fine, but I just was like, eh. And I just kind of slowly stopped watching it.
A show I really liked, and I think they only meant it to be one season, but I was like, what the fuck? Why would you only mean it to be one season? Was A Night Of. You guys remember that one?
Oh yeah.
It was about a guy, like he goes on a date with a girl, and then she gets
The night of.
she gets killed, and it's like a murder mystery. You try to figure it out, and then you get like this pro bono lawyer that's down to defend him, but you don't really know what happened. It's kind of like that podcast Serial.
Oh wow.
And then it was really, really good.
Yeah.
And then season finale, and then bam. And I'm like, is that going to lead to a movie or anything else? And they just left it.
So they don't tell you what happened.
No, they just leave it like that. And it was on HBO.
Because I tried watching it and I was like, I'm out. It's too dark. And I turned it off.
It's really good. And it's just,
The glare is killing my viewing of this.
yeah, it's just one season and bam, that's it.
Oh damn.
Oh, you mean like the show was dark, not the concept was too dark?
No,
Like the actual filming was too dark?
There wasn't a light on set. There wasn't a fucking lighting guy on set, dude. You felt like that too. Did you feel that way? It was just the whole show was just dark.
No, I think my TV's brighter.
You don't got OLED?
I got 2005.
Did you guys watch Lost?
I never watched it. No.
I heard the same thing about Lost.
Yeah, Lost
ending
is
was,
so
like,
many
underwhelming.
seasons
Yeah.
and so intense, and then at the end they explained nothing.
Yeah.
That's really sad. Once I heard about that, I was like, I'm not gonna start watching. Yeah, it. me
Well, okay,
neither.
they explain a lot, but then they just leave you on the like most of the cliffhangers on the island get solved.
But they were bad explanations.
They just like freestyle.
But then the fact that they're on the island ends up being like a dream type.
It's like purgatory or something.
oh no, it ends
Yeah.
up being a dream.
Well, it's something along those lines. Like that's why I use quotations. It's like it uses kind of one of those. Did it actually really happen?
Oh no, not
Because it was probably like, we milked this thing as dry as we can.
Well, by the end, those are probably totally different writers, right?
Well, I think a lot of people felt that way about The Sopranos too, right? About like how.
No way, that happens
So
at the end.
good.
But like the end, it kind of like goes to black, and then everybody was like, "What the fuck?" I remember people feeling
It goes to black and then
because it's like a cliffhanger at the end of Sopranos, like a big cliffhanger, and then it goes to black, and then everyone was like, "Wait, that's it?" I just remember that was the reaction for that.
But I
show.
thought the reason why they did that was just in case they got another season.
Oh, so that
So
they could
but
be
then
ambiguous.
what ended up happening is he passed away.
Oh, that's right.
James Gandolfini?
He passed away. Yeah.
Whoa, damn. That's
So it wasn't. I think it wasn't really meant to be the last season.
okay.
How many seasons of Sopranos were there? There was a lot, right?
I have no idea.
It was when it was out. I was like, wow.
I never watched
Yeah.
it. I only saw like the first couple episodes.
I watched it more recently, actually. For the
Yeah,
first
and
time.
it's-
I
and
had
it's
never
good to
seen
watch
it.
now?
Yeah, it was
Wow.
really good now.
I think I'll go through it again, but I went through it in like 2008 or 9, and it was life changing for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was Breaking Bad for me.
Yeah, and then Breaking Bad was.
Some people didn't like the way that ended, but I thought it was perfect.
There's always going to be people who don't like
Yeah.
it.
I think Breaking Bad ended well.
He dies, but he
Remember roast beans really good.
Wait, no, it ends with him with the machine gun.
yeah, but he dies at the very.
But then wasn't there another episode that came out way after?
They did a
El
movie.
Camino, but it doesn't. It follows Jesse's like.
Oh.
And Better Call Saul was really
Better
good
Call
too.
Saul.
So good.
That ends so well too.
So good.
Yeah, that's how you end it, man.
I actually haven't seen all of that. I started.
It's
and
harder
then,
to
like,
make
I
it through
stopped.
Better Call Saul for me. Like it's not as addicting. Like I've keep on like coming back to it, but then
Not a big Bob Odenkirk fan.
well, I like it, but it's an easy show to fall asleep to, and then it's hard to come back to because it's I don't know. It's not.
Maybe that's
as-
why I never came back.
I just loved his character so much. I
Yeah.
couldn't get enough of him. And
It's also way slower. Like
Maybe that's why. I think Better Call Saul has a lighter comedic feel, and then Breaking Bad has a darker
Yeah, for
feeling. Yeah,
yeah.
a more serious feel.
Better Call Saul felt like it had more clever writing because they could also extend what was hinted at Breaking Bad. Like the origins of
Yeah.
the freaking workshop underneath the laundry. Like everything was so good, man.
So cool.
Yeah, everything had a really good
in Saul.
good wrap up. Yeah, really great wrap up. And it's like the kind that you want, where like the villain doesn't really get away with anything. Like they end up having to pay for their crimes. Kind of like what happened for both. Like Walter White, just like seeing his family fucking fall apart. The one thing he was trying to like keep together. It's like that is what you get.
Yeah.
I also think like Peaky Blinders is one of my hands down
Fucking blindness.
favorite fucking shows on this earth. But
What season is it on now?
I think it's done.
Is that your number one spot right now? Currently?
Yeah.
That's your number one, huh?
But I don't know. You guys okay with spoilers?
I'm gonna watch it, I think.
Oh, you haven't watched it
I
yet?
haven't
I
watched
might
it.
watch more of it. I've
Okay.
only seen the first season.
You could spoil something, it's okay.
There's a character in the show that wasn't supposed to die, but they died in real life. I'm not gonna say male or female or anything, but there's a character that
Kevin Costner.
that was supposed to Kevin Costner was supposed to stay on, and the story had to change because this character passed away in real life.
That's interesting. Okay.
So then
nailed it.
the plot and things changed. They were a very main character. Not the main, but they were one of the main.
Yeah.
So like
Very main character.
It's not a man or woman, I'm not gonna tell you.
But very main.
but Mary Main.
Very main character.
think of a situation. Have you guys heard of the show The Fosters before?
No, I never saw Fosters. No.
It's about a show about two lesbian moms who adopt some kids. It's actually one of the best shows I've ever seen. But one of the kids, who's the younger brother from Wizards of Waverly Place, Austin, he's one of the kids for the first, I think, 4 seasons. And then the actor leaves season 5, like he's not in it, and he gets in a car accident, and they could have just killed him off, but instead they sent him to a boot camp for a few episodes, and he returns as a different actor.
Oh, okay.
Whoa! The whole show for
That's
me.
like Fresh Prince.
Just like that.
I was like, I couldn't see, because they were acting as if nothing changed, and I was like, why couldn't you just kill the character?
Which character is it that died?
His name's Austin in real life.
Did he also
No,
change
he
his
didn't
race
die.
too?
That they should have killed him off.
Did he come back a different race?
So he
too?
got in a car accident, and the show's a really like kind of dark show that like shows like the foster care system, like all these like really dark things of life. So they could have gone into the direction of like losing a child and like dealing with that grief. It would have gone with the show. But no, they decided to have him go to boot camp and come back as a new actor.
Wow, Rosie O'Donnell.
And they look nothing alike. They look nothing.
Come back as Rosie O'Donnell.
Hey, it's me. I'm back from camp.
I could probably find the characters if you want.
Didn't Rosie O'Donnell like move because she was like, I don't want to live in
Yes.
America's Trump?
Yeah, and then people were like, "Get out of here too!" Whatever place she had.
You're a
to go.
nasty woman.
Didn't she go to the UK or something?
Maybe.
Oh yeah, maybe yeah.
It was one of those European countries.
Then now they're complaining about her being there.
Really?
Yeah, apparently. Oh yeah, The Fosters got freaking 97% Rotten Tomatoes. Must be a good show.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Fast is Australian for me.
Here's the 2 actors. It was Jake T. Austin at first, and I replaced him with Noah Centineo.
Oh yeah.
Who was like twice as old as looking as Jake T. Austin.
Ah yeah.
And he's also like a foot taller. So it was just like so weird to see like the brother replaced with that type of
That happened to you at boot camp.
I wish it came out a foot taller.
Damn. Yeah, that's a challenge though. What should shows do when that happens? Like,
When somebody dies,
I think killing them off makes the most sense. Or have them move away forever. Like,
or CGI.
have them
him
Rosie O'Donnell out of the country.
what about like Paul Walker? As
Yeah.
Fast and Furious gets crazy, they just start using his brother as a stand-in and put his face on it.
That'd be too much work.
At least they did it to complete that part, and then he gets to drive away. I would be sad if he came back. That'd be weird.
One of my favorite shows was The Last Man on Earth.
Oh yeah. Steve.
So good.
Steve Green
Andy.
always says that.
And then they just ended it in like season 3. And it just was finished. And it was just such a cliffhanger, but it was so good. Yeah, no resolution. And it was so funny. And it seemed like,
I don't know why it didn't get greenlit. Maybe it wasn't popular enough.
Yeah, it probably wasn't. It was on like Fox.
I think the sets were expensive. Making post-apocalyptic sets is probably a lot of money.
But it was such a good cast too. It was so funny. It was a really good show.
Oh, that's dope. Oh, you know what? Oh, dude, this show was so freaking good, and it was like a dream come true, and then it turned into absolute dog shit. The Get Down.
Get Down.
Yeah.
Oh, it was on FX or something.
It's about like the birth of hip hop.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's so sick. The first like season is so dope, and then it just, I don't know what happened. Like they changed directors or something. It became like a completely different show. It doesn't make any sense.
It's weird.
Yeah, but it was Baz Luhrmann like as the debut director of like the first episode, and it gets you so hooked. Even the trailer would just get you hooked.
How far did you make it into the second season?
I watched the whole thing, but I was just, because out of respect, I'm like, I want to at least see if this gets any better, and it just kept hurting. Like, you know, where you just hurt. You're just like, oh god, this show sucks. Should be doing something else, you know?
But you have to finish it out.
Yeah, but it's just like it felt so disconnected from the first season. You know, it just felt like I was watching. It started off like where they took like the heroes of hip hop that like started it, like Grandmaster Flash and all these like legendary like Bronx people, and then they created like a lore that kind of made them seem like larger than life heroes. And then the second season's just a basic ass love story with the one like the random character and his girl. And they totally like left that whole like world building.
So they built it and then they
Yeah, it just felt like you went from like fucking Tomorrowland and you just exit the park.
You're like, oh.
Yeah,
you
not
ever
even go to another land. You just leave.
Have you guys ever seen True Detective?
Oh, I heard that's good.
Only the first season was good, right?
To me, the first season was the best one, and it was so good that like, and it wasn't like the second and the third season was like whatever. Yeah, that was the first one. But every season was a different cast, different story, and then it was so good that every other season that they did afterwards, you're just comparing it to like the twist and the story from the first one. and it just never holds up, and you're just like, oh man, because they have like really promising casts too. Like they have like the second one, they had like Vince Vaughn on it. They had a lot of really cool people on it, but it was just like you just didn't give a fuck about the show, about the story, you know.
That hurts a lot.
Yeah.
I really liked Narcos.
Ooh.
But then when Pablo Escobar dies,
Yeah.
that kind of like the whole
Kills
thing,
it.
yeah, it just.
Takes
But that
the
was
word
so
out of it.
fucking.
Yeah, once Escobar's gone, it's just like
You know, there's a whole new spin-off, the Juarez Cartel, or like there's the whole Mexico one.
the
now.
'80s one.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I saw it on
First
Netflix.
episode, and I was like,
It's different.
without Escobar, bro,
Yeah,
it
without-
doesn't really
without
work.
Pablo.
Well, because after on the same what do you call it, the series after Escobar, it moves on to the Mexico cartel.
Yes, yeah.
But that's the same show, right? I'm talking about a separate one that they
Oh.
created.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see that.
Yeah,
It's
there's
not
a new
called
one.
Narcos.
It's by Narcos, I think. But it's the Mexico origin story and all that. Yeah.
The show that's been on my head this whole time is American Horror Story. You guys watch that one?
Yeah, that one's pretty good.
Really
The first few seasons were great, and then it went. Oof.
First few seasons were really addicting. Yeah.
Cinematography
And
the
very
world
sad.
building. Yeah.
Remember the first season? I think that's the one where the girl was just under the house.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so sad.
The
They
writing
always
in the
think it's some haunting, but it's just some like.
Yeah, she was just like just killed herself or something.
Oh my gosh, I can't listen to this.
I mean, the first season is cool. If you die in the house, your spirit is like alive in the house as a ghost.
No, I don't want an explanation.
Ooh, Cambodian ghost.